Nice to meet you, first of all.
Nice to meet you.
Here in the Netherlands, your new album has been released in March.
Yes.
But back in the US already in October.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still glad with how it turned out?
I'm sorry, am I what?
Are you still glad with how it turned out?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny, I need to always take a break after I record something because you listen to it like 60 times while you're mixing and arranging the order. And I just heard some songs again a few weeks ago and I was like, I like this record, it's good. So, yeah, I am.
Has there been a clear starting point for the record? A song you wrote or something you thought?
You know, no, it was sort of over a year and a half where I would gather songs and I had quite a few to choose from, and there were certain ones that I knew really should be on the record, but I didn't write them sort of as a package deal. It was really about finding the most relevant true songs. I suppose I'd have to say Dealbreaker if I picked one that was like pretty crucial to being somewhat of a starting point.
How so?
It to me represented a little bit of an evolution for my songwriting.
Well, you're an experienced record maker now, a bit. Has it become a manageable process already?
You know, every session is very different. I think I'm more used to whatever can go right and wrong in a setting, so I know more what I want. Like this past record, we recorded in a house and had all the musicians come down to Maryland, and we were right on the Chesapeake Bay, and I knew that I wanted to keep everybody a little bit of away from their personal lives and their other work or distractions, so they could really just dive into the whole record-making process. And if we were inspired at 2 in the morning, we would all be there and we could record then. So I think in that aspect, it's I know how to set a scenario that would be effective a little bit more. Yeah.
Is it because you have yourself experienced a setting in which you were too distracted? Or?
Yeah, well, I've definitely done records where you know, I've done recordings in Los Angeles where you're in a studio that everybody's driving to in traffic the morning to go work, and then you know, musicians have other gigs to play at night, so they want to be done by 6 or 7. So you have this kind of time frame weighing over you, and that's never good for me to like work under. Like we have to get it done by this time because who knows when you're onto something. You know, it might take all day. So. That was an example of you know, feeling like I was frustrated about the experience. So.
Can you give us perhaps a bit of a tour of the surroundings and the house? What did it look like?
Yeah, so it was it's sort of a ranch style. So it was my producer's house in Maryland, and it's all windows, like glass windows and doors, and it looks out onto the water. The backyard was literally right on the bay. In fact, they had a hurricane at one point, and we had to watch the water levels because it would creep up towards the house. And we had air mattresses on the floors and in the control room, and microphones in the shower, and sometimes we would record on the porch. And I had a big tent in the backyard that I was sleeping in because there were so many people in the house. And yeah, we would just like grill and make food at night, and so it was very like summer camp feeling.
How long did you lead this life?
Well, I was there for 4 months. I only planned to go for 3 weeks, and I ended up staying because everything got so busy. It was almost easier for me to work out of the house than to go all the way home and start up again. But the whole band was there, I think, for no more than 7 days, and then the producer and engineers and I stayed for a few weeks after, but it was a very quick tracking process.
Was it slower than you expected because you thought you would be there for a couple of weeks and you ended up
No, I mean, well, I think the actual tracking was so fast, and the finishing up of the record was actually quite fast. We ended up recording some extra songs for an EP that'll come out in a few months, so that's why we stayed there, and then we shot 2 videos and did photo shoots. And so in terms of turning around the record, it only took about 4 months total, which is quite fast to do everything involved.